is getting older, world is getting colder, trying to get sober. Lord help me get stronger, world is on my shoulders.
How you doing today? This is the 12 with 12 podcast, a podcast about real life, recovery, redemption, growth and development, because that's what this is about. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, tap that subscribe button, share for more, give us a thumb up, give us a like if you're enjoying the channel. And we are sponsored by First Step Recovery. If you happen to suffer from substance abuse disorder, severe mental illness, or know anybody else who happens to suffer from that, please don't hesitate to call them today. You see the number up top. They will be happy to help you for sure. They will pick up, they will answer. We have a special guest today, Michael.
What's going on, bro?
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, man.
Yes, sir. Glad you was able to make it on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, bro.
I'm 33. I'll be 34 this month, actually.
Oh, man. Happy birthday, bro.
Yes, I have 6 beautiful children.
Wow.
So, yeah, we got 3 boys and 3 girls. So, split right down the middle. I work full time, and as of on the 10th of this month, I will have 21 months clean and sober.
Wow, congratulations,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
Congratulations.
So,
when did you first start using?
I was probably about 13. I come home, I was in, 7th grade year. I rode the bus home with my buddy, and he was like, man, you ever smoke weed or anything? I was like, nah. He's like, you want to? And me, I'm like, my dad's a cop, bro. I'm gonna get my butt in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
So I was like, nah, man, nah, better not. We go to his house. We play games for a little bit, Call of Duty and stuff. And then he gets this rolling up. You know, I hit it, and but that was Spice then. And then
it was Spice?
Yeah, it was Spice the first time.
Oh man,
that's
rough right there.
You was
probably seeing all. Man, you was tripping.
I didn't go home for like 8.5 hours. My mom was so mad at me, bro.
Wow, boy.
Yeah, so that was my first anytime ever using anything with Spice, and it scared the living crap out of me. So much so that after that point, I didn't do anything again till I was 16 years old. You know, I didn't want to mess with nothing. That's when I started smoking weed. When I was 16. Yeah, I had a really good buddy that, you know, he smoked or whatever, and he was like, man, just try it. This ain't the same stuff. Whatever, bruh, try it. Liked it. Found out you can make money moving it and stuff. So I'm, 16. I got my own car and everything. I'm like, man, I gotta do this, do that, you know. So that's what I got into.
I started hustling a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing crazy, man. It's like I said, my dad was a police officer in my hometown, and he was actually our school resource officer at my high school.
No.
So it was like, oh man, so trying to move correctly.
Yeah, you're trying not to get pops running down on you.
Yeah, facts. And then that went on till I was about 18. Then when I turned 18, you know, I went out on my own, you know, or I'd be crashing with buddies and stuff. Got into the aspect of, you know, man, we're gonna drop acid. You want to try this? I'm like, well, I ain't never done that. Got into acid. Did that for like a 6 month span or whatever, you know. Still smoking weed the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Got me my little jobs and stuff I'm doing. That progressed into about 19. When I was 19, I started doing construction work, and that was love to me.
Yeah,
I'm not getting drug tested. I'm making good money. You know, I'm staying active. You know, so you know, I was happy with that.
Do you think a lot of people in construction smoke weed or do type of drugs?
Keeping it on my, I mean, I guess I could say that there is a very fine line with that.
Yeah.
Like as far as like me now that I'm in recovery, I could go back to a union job, you know, making that $36 an hour wage and everything. But I know in my head that out of my 6-man crew, there's probably gonna be 4 or 5 guys that do some type of drug, and I just don't care to be around it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I would say they kind of go hand in hand, but then you do have them old heads or them guys that are just out there working. They're providing for everything. They ain't never smoked a cigarette a day in their life, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Like I had a lot of people who I used to be around, a lot of friends stuff. He do construction type stuff, and if they wasn't doing drugs, like hardcore drugs or just any type of drugs, or even just smoking or whatever, but they was drinking a lot.
Oh yeah.
They was drinking their mind. They was drinking. They couldn't wait to get out the drink.
Yep, they definitely got the Bud Light waiting on them.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all know who y'all are. If y'all need help, don't forget to contact First Day Recovery. Got you now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No problem. But yeah, so after that, man, when I started doing construction, man, I'm sore. Back's hurting, this and that. I was doing hog carrying and bricklaying, so that's that'll be
rough. That'll beat you down.
So I got my best friend. Like, man, you ever done a Loratab? No, what the hell, no. That'll put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? He's like, not if you snort it. Got me hooked on it, man. I was in love, man.
Damn.
Pain pills and marijuana was like my whole little niche, you know. And I maintained that until I want to say right about my 20th birthday, and then I started dabbling, with cocaine and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm single, just out riding with my buddies and stuff all the time. Have an apartment and whatnot. So it's like, man, my bills are paid. I got this, I got that. Cocaine's a party drug. You know what I mean? So I got into that for a while. When I turned 21, I got with my younger 3 kids' mom. And we got together, and, she did cocaine, I did cocaine. She was a drinker. I would occasionally drink, but I smoked weed all day, every day. So that went from, a month into it, we found out we were pregnant with our son. April Fool's Day of 2014.
Dang.
So I'm like I was like mid hit on the blunt. She goes, I'm pregnant. You're playing April Fool's. You got me.
Thought you had one just there.
I thought she was. No, she got me.
Man, she got you for real too.
Yeah. So then I went from working my little job out there at the farm and whatnot to I moved back home to Indiana. Brought her with me. I got a good factory job and had kind of quit smoking weed and everything. But on the weekends, when I had time, or if my buddy had some, I still do a little coke here and there. And then I found out over time, her dad did it as well.
Oh.
And when me and him got really close, and then when we found out that, we locked in, bro.
It was a wrap after that, huh?
Yes, and it just went from, I go to work all week, Friday and Saturday night, I'm with her dad out at the strip club doing cocaine. And Molly, at that point, Molly started coming around. And that progressed for a while. We had our son November of 2014. And when I had my son, I was just like, all right, I got to do something different. I got to get me some money, some real money.
Yeah.
I went back to construction. Again, that worked for a while. Back gets sore. So what I turned to, old trusty Loratabs. I knew they would work. I could get through the work day, kill it out. I did that for, let's see, we had him November of 2014. So about November of 15, right after he turned a year, I'd had pretty steady work, and I'd been, smoking weed on my Loratabs, partying with her dad on the weekends. Then I started working for a tree removal company. When I did that, and keep in mind, the whole time, I am on prescription Adderall from the doctor. Since I was a kid, man, I've been on Adderall, Ritalin, Concerta, like you name it. I'd been prescribed that. So at the time, I'm taking my medicine like I'm supposed to, but I'm also doing tabs and smoking weed like I shouldn't be. But I go to work for this tree company. And a guy gets me on there, and like these dudes are like, I already move pretty fast, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I do well for myself, and these dudes are running circles around me. And I'm like, what the heck, man? It don't make sense. The math wasn't mathing.
Yeah.
So my third day there, they pulled me into the little shipping container they had. It was like our little workshop. I'm like, man, you ever smoke that chicken? I'm like, what? Like, you ain't never done that high-speed chicken feed? I have no clue what you're talking about, man.
I don't even know it's a...
Meth.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And he said, man, it's crystal meth. And he pulls out
Jeez.
chicken bone and a little glass stem bowl thing. He's like, I'm going to tell you before you do this. He's like, if you want to, he's like, there's something you need to know. And I was like, what's up? He's like, if you let it, this will take away everything you've ever loved.
Dang.
I'm like,
But he told you from the jump.
yeah, and he was an old head. He knew, and to this day, that remains the most truest statement I have ever heard in my life. So I'm like, whatever, I'm fine. I'll be fine, man. I do cocaine and stuff. I'm an adult. What are you talking about? Ain't gonna affect me none. From the first hit, hooked. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. You know, at the time, I was getting high because it allowed me to not only excel at my job and what I was doing, but I could come home. The honey-do list was getting done. You know, I'm playing with the kids, whatever, everything else. Everything looks good at first. Then the side effects of it all started to kick in, you know, rapidly losing weight, irritable, discontent, like just starting to have those issues like that. And that happened about 8 months in. So, and I was able to hide this from my girlfriend, my kid's mom. I was able to hide it from her at the time. And, you know, she just thinks, you know, whatever, I don't know, what shit's getting done, stuff's getting done, it's all okay. But then about 8 months in, you know, I started getting physical with her, you know, because I was just getting out of character, man.
It was taking over your mind, making you another person.
Oh, yeah.
I heard so much stuff about meth and psychosis or something.
Psychosis, man.
Like people lose their whole complete mind of who you are when you're on meth.
And this was you know, like I said, I started at the end of 2015. It was the first time I ever used it. Then this was probably about middle of 2016, you know, and we're pregnant again. We're having a little girl this time. I'm, you know, working, doing this, doing that, but it all transgressed from, you know, me getting high to work and whatnot to now, you know, getting high, like working to start to pay my dope man and everything. And then from that, it went to me not working at all, me just trying to flip this, do that, thinking I was getting ahead. Never worked out that way. The whole time, she doesn't really know about it. And then I ended up, you know, getting arrested a few times. Nothing for, it was like, you know, child support court and one of them. And then some domestic stuff, but just overnights. I finally come out and tell her that I'm getting high. And, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm going to get clean. You know, I don't want to do this no more. Our daughter's born at this point. And she's like, okay. And, you know, she's not even living with me. She's living with her grandparents at this point. So that transpires to me doing the old white knuckle, you know, 30-day, clean and sober. However, I'm still smoking weed. I'm still taking Loratabs. I'm still doing cocaine and shit on the side. But because I'm not doing meth, in my head, I'm clean. Did that for a while, man. Then I want to say this was probably about 2017. And I'm right back on it. I mean, I was clean maybe 3 months, but I'm hiding it, you know. I'm doing it in moderation, so she won't know. I'm going to bed, like, you know, at 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm laying in bed with her. I'm not going to sleep at all. I'm sitting there for, you know, till 4 or 5 in the morning, you know, but making it seem like I'm sleeping. I just got very distant with everyone and everything. But I was lying about everything. I mean, this guy could have been blue, and I'd be like, yeah, it's purple. Wow, what's up? You know, to everyone, my family, my friends, my boss. And it all just went downhill. After that, she finally left. After our daughter was about 6 months old, she had really finally left. And then we end up, you know, trying to reconcile a few months later when I'm white knuckling again, you know, 30 days clean, whatnot. She gets pregnant again with our second daughter. And, man, it just never stopped for me. I started going and, you know, doing more things, not to mention the whole time I've been using meth, I'm getting to learn all the ins and outs of it, the different people that come along with it. And that just went from me having owning my own multiple vehicles, having my own home, to at this point, losing my home. And thankfully, the only reason I was able to keep it that long was my aunt was renting it to me at the time. So if rent wasn't paid that month, Aunt Dawn cut me some slack. All right, it's fine, honey. If rent wasn't paid 4 months, it's fine. We know you're going through some stuff. And that enabled me, honestly, and allowed me to fall deeper into the rabbit hole that I was going in. So I would sit there and just meet new people, do different things. And then in 2018, I met this girl, and I go over, 2019. I met this girl on Snapchat, and she was like, come pick me up. All right, come over to Louisville. At this point, I'd never messed around over in Louisville. I knew better. I knew Indiana. That was where my home. That's where I was from. I stayed at home. Went, picked her up. We go out, do everything wrong that you could. You know what I mean? And then she ends up introducing me into some people who, they're a motorcycle club, and I fall in with them, and end up getting into that, becoming a patch member. And when that happened, and it was to the races from there.
Yeah.
At that point, I'd had 2 domestic violence charges, and then just, getting locked up for child support. I'd done like a month here, and like a couple of week stints. That was it.
Yeah.
When I started riding with them and running and living that lifestyle, my kid's mom completely cut me off and took the kids away from me at that point.
But she felt that it was like getting too dangerous.
Yeah. And up until that point, I had still had a regular job. At that time, I was a delivery driver for FedEx. Thinking, to me, I'm like, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm gonna make it look as good as I can to everyone else. But on the inside, man, it was hell. And so she, her and the kids go to still to her grandparents. She, takes me out of the situation. Which was honestly the best thing for my children and for her safety at the time, because I was so just dedicated to the lifestyle I was living. That nothing good come from it. Yes, I love my brothers, and I have good friends from it still to this day. I've got brothers that are out in the madness still, and I got brothers that are in recovery from it. But with that, I stayed over. I started staying in Louisville. I was living at the clubhouse, everything else. That's when I got into selling big time, thinking I'm Pablo Escobar, doing this, doing that. I'm thinking I'm something. After that, I just maintained, meth. That was my lifestyle. That was everything. I used to tell people all the time, if I'm not going 200 on 2 wheels, not giving, pardon my French, that was the mindset I had. I didn't care. Didn't give a shit about anything other than what I needed to survive. I mean, I had my brothers and whatnot, but that was it. So, from that point, I started catching cases over here in Louisville. My first charge, I got possession of methamphetamines while in possession of a handgun. Because at the time I'm not a felon yet, so I had my license to carry still. So, but because I think I had just a little bitty dime bag of some dope, but that gun on me, it all got
got enhanced.
Yeah. However, I'm from Indiana. If you get arrested over there, ain't no such thing as no ROR, and you're out the next day. Over here in Louisville, I caught that possession charge and whatnot. They took me up to jail that day. Next morning, I'm walking out the door at 9 a.m.
Oh, man.
And I was like, this ain't
Too
bad.
bad, huh?
Yeah, man.
Like,
Everybody,
dang, they give you a little slap on the wrist over here.
Yeah, this ain't nothing. Not to mention, this is about time COVID started to really, kick in.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Yeah, so they ain't chasing nobody or nothing. Went on till about 2022, I believe. That went on till about 2021. And then I, had caught some other charges, other possession charges, possession of a, receiving stolen property. You know, my thing was stealing cars, stealing motorcycles. That was my niche. That was the one good thing. When I found out how to do that, I was perfect at that.
You were doing that with your bros?
Yeah. Oh well, I was doing that.
Just doing it on your own?
It would depend, man. It'd be me and some other people, but to me, it was always me. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I did that for the longest time, man. You know, I never checked in with family. I might call my mom once, you know, every so often, but they knew what I was doing, and they wanted no parts of that. So I just fell into that mindset and that lifestyle of like, it's you know, balls to the wall, 100 miles an hour. This is what we have to do. Then I ended up catching a bigger case. I caught a second-degree arson case on top of these 3 other cases I'd already had for like possession, receiving stolen property, and the handgun case and stuff. So to me, because they keep RORing me, you know, COVID going on, they're letting you out.
You're thinking it's all good.
I'm thinking, I'm like, oh man, they ain't even tripping on this.
Do they have a point system over here in Louisville?
Nah, nothing like that.
So don't add up points and then be...
Nah, but all they was doing was just I was building cases.
Building cases, yeah, to make them, they hit you up with something decent to get you
So,
out.
and then when I got hit with that arson, I got out on it, you know. They gave me like a signature bond or something on it. Again, COVID, they wasn't holding nobody. I got out, bam, right back on the run. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't reporting for no new court dates. I wasn't doing, man, you let me out, all that. I don't care anything you guys say.
So you kept getting out on bond?
No, at first I was getting like RORs, like for the simple charges. Because I wasn't a felon. I had no felony. There was no prior convictions of anything. So they keep letting me out.
Okay.
Then I got in trouble over in Indiana on a auto theft that hemmed me up for 8 months over there. Got out, right back over to Louisville, doing my thing, you know. I'm sorry, that was before the arson. Then I got out from Clark County, came back over here, got locked up, got ROR'd because I explained, you know, I was already over in Clark County when y'all issued this bench warrant. That's why I missed court. All right, well, have a good day. Here's your next court date. Bet.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. That lasted about an 8-month run then. But when they finally did snag me, I ended up sitting for a year in Metro off the back of that arson charge. I ended up taking probation on it, and I lasted maybe 2 months on probation, and that was beginning of 21. Lasted about 2 months on probation. You know, going, reporting, staying clean, not doing nothing. Yeah. The girl I was dating at the time, she used. So, of course, after a month or two of seeing that, I'm right back in it. Yeah. Except for this time, now I'm starting to shoot up what I'm using. So, from 21 till 22, I'm pretty much, I do a couple of little stints here and there. Like nothing serious, but like I'm over in Indiana at least. It was like a week, whatever, get out. I was able to push off all my courts and stuff with my attorney over in Louisville, so it all worked. You know, for me in my madness, it worked for me. Yeah. In the meantime, they're just building up. Yeah. So finally in 2023. November 9th, that is the last time I got high on crystal meth or anything. I was with a girl. We was over in Indiana in a stolen truck yet again. We go to her mom's house. Oh yeah. I'm always in a Yoli. I mean, you could always. That was my life. From that point, we went to her mom's house. Her aunt called the police there. And I'm in Pekin, Indiana, Washington County. It's a very small little jail out there, man. And they came proper. They came about 7, 8 deep, surrounded the house. Yeah, and she come upstairs, wake me up. Hey, there's cops outside. So this was like my last run right here, the story of that. She wakes me up. I'm like, all right, whatever, it's fine. I'll come down there. You know, they don't know me, nothing. I walk downstairs, talk to them. They're like, all right, man, we need you to step out here so you can talk to us. I ain't stepping out this door, bro. You're tripping. Of course, the cop goes to open the door to tell me to step out again. I slam that door in his face, lock it. With her outside. I lock her outside too,
man,
bro.
Dang.
Yeah, I ran upstairs to the room, did my last shot then, and crawled out onto the roof of the house from her upstairs window and laid across the peak of the house thinking I was hiding. It lasted about 5 minutes, and then finally one of the cops looks up, does like that, puts his flashlight up there. He's on the roof.
Oh, man, you knew it was a wrap there.
Oh, yeah. I
knew it was a
ran,
wrap.
but I was seeing, I had my key to the truck. I looked over at the truck. I decided to run down the side of the roof of the house. I jumped to the roof of the garage, and they poured about 4 or 5 tasers at me. I just see a bunch of little red dots. You better get down or we're going to tase you. Hey, man, you can't tase me up here. Just in case you can, let me go ahead and hop on down for you.
Dang, you had to make sure, listen, man, you don't want to get that bad boy.
Nah, I did
You
not.
ever been tased before?
Parts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got tased multiple times. Been tased by Indiana State Trooper. Thought I was fleeing on a motorcycle. So that was a different story, man.
Dang.
But he saw me go like this when I sat up, and when I did, he saw my pistol in my waistband.
Yeah, so he hit you off real.
He just come up, pow, laid me right down.
Dang. I ain't never been tased, but I don't.
It ain't nothing fun about it, bro.
I see them videos. I'm like, dang, they going through it.
Yeah, your whole body flexed up, and you just lock up and go down. Yeah, but so that happened in Pekin. They arrested me. You know, at the time, the car from where it was taken from, they couldn't figure out if it was stolen or not. So they went to, but they knew I had a warrant out of Louisville from running from probation, absconding. So they took me over to Washington County Jail. I sat there for a few days. Then they come back. This is a stolen truck from Ford Motor Company, from the overflow lots. So they hit me with the auto theft. And then I had the smallest, they said they found like dusting of meth in the truck. They made that and a paraphernalia charge. And then I had like 2 Lortabs on me as well. Again, Lortabs have never left my side. With that, I ended up sitting in there for 6 months. But that was what saved my life. Small county jail. You ain't really, it's not like Metro where you can get anything and everything whenever you want pretty much. I started going to the church night they would have in there, and they had a guest speaker in there one night, and the dude's story just clicked with me, man. He was a patched member from an outlaw motorcycle club, and you know, he had 22 years clean and sober at the time. Had turned his whole life around and everything, and I was like, it's 2 months into my bit, so I'm really coming out of my psychosis I was in from meth, and I was just like, man, it just resonated with me, and it really got me to kind of think about what am I doing, because up until that point, you know, I'm in my head trying to fight with this girl, fight with that girl on the phone. Hey, I need money on the books, woo-de-woo out the bam, and nothing had changed in my mindset at that point. I was still thinking of, you know, when I get out, what am I going to, all right, I'm going to probably have to go do this little bit over in Louisville after this, and then when I get out, I'll go right back to this. And that night, I just woke up, man. I really thought about what he said. I listened to every word he said, and I went back to the pod, you know, and I'd asked for a Bible, and, you know, then I started getting into my Bible, man. Not real heavy, nothing crazy. I wasn't doing it from dawn till dusk or nothing like that. But you know, a quiet time, lights out. You know, I'm reading, you know, here and there. Rather than play a game of spades, I'm gonna go read a verse real quick and see what I can find.
So it's kind of like God set you down for a little bit to get your mind right a little bit.
Yes. So that last 4 months of that bit, I decided to, you know, like reach out to my family, not to put nothing on my books. Not for this, not for that. Hey, I understand that I made mistakes. I want to correct this, and I want help.
Yeah.
And I'd never been to no recovery, no nothing. So I started off looking for recovery centers in Indiana while in jail, places I could go to once I was released. My mother would help me with that, you know. And then while doing all this, my kid's mom actually reached out to the jail, tried to get a hold of me. Was no luck there, so she went to my mom and told my mom, hey, have him call me, here's my number. At this point, I hadn't seen or talked to my children for about 4.5 years. So with that, I was excited, nervous, you know. I ain't talked to her, nothing for my kids, like I said, about 4.5 years. So I made the call, we talked, you know, and we started to mend that relationship from there. You know, we just went over everything and anything. And it was going to be a process, and I knew that. When I finished my time out in Indiana, they sent me over here to Kentucky. Kentucky came and picked me up. As soon as I got over here, you know, my public defender, I had a wonderful public defender, and I told her, I want recovery, I want help, that's what I want to do, I want to do something different. Please, whatever it takes, I don't care if I got to go to prison afterwards, but I want something to help me for now, to give me the tools. I knew I wanted to do something change, but I didn't know how to do it. So she got me a caseworker. My caseworker started looking into places, and she said, well, there's this one place I really like. It's called First Step Recovery. And she's like...
Oh, dang. First Up. Shout out First Up.
So I was like, all right, well, tell me about it. She said, well, you know, they're kind of a newer one, but they're building it up, you know, this and that. And in my head, I'm like, well, heck yeah, I could work there, you know, work on stuff. I'm good. I'm, you know, good craftsman, working with my hands and whatnot. So I was like, all right. I was like, you know, they got a weight room and stuff. She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, run that in. So it took I was there. They sat me down for 76 days on a probation violation from the absconding. I had 2 new cases as well that were open. So I got all 3 judges to approve me to HIP to First Step. So HIP to treatment. I came here August 6th of 2024, completely just not knowing what to expect, man. And I come in, do my intake and whatnot, and they're like, well, you know, you ain't got to do class or nothing today, but there is a meeting upstairs right now if you want to go up to it. All right, bet. See what it's about. I ended up coming in, going to the meeting, and it was different. It was kind of like I'm, you know, still being in institutionalized mode, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, stuff's a little weird, bro. Next day in class, they have a guy that had graduated the program in there teaching the class. And the one thing that he said that, you know, is stuck with me from then, he said, man, if you let it, this program will love you back to life. And first when I heard that, I was like, bro, that's some weird shit. What are you talking about? You know, you know what I mean? I'm a grown man. What are you talking about?
Love me back to life.
Yeah, bro.
I'm crazy right now, bro.
So that, you know, I just started listening. Like I said, I had no tools for staying clean and sober. I just knew that I wanted to do something different. And with that, I just, you know, kept going to classes, kept going to meetings, all the ones I needed, and then some. And something clicked. You know, I'd already gotten my, you know, back with my relationship with God before I even got out. On top of mending the relationships in my family and whatnot that I had destroyed. And at this point, when I got into treatment, you know, my family is fully supporting me. They have their reservations and whatnot, of course, but you know, they're real supportive of me. So I stuck it out. I came in here, you know, I kept going to class, and I'm not gonna lie, man, there was some days where I'm like, this is dumb. It don't even make no sense. Like what? And then about a month in, once again, just another classroom day, but someone was speaking, and I was like, man, that's what it's all about. That's what it is. And so I kept applying myself. I ended up working my way up to becoming a lead here at the house. And, you know, kept going till I was the head lead of the house, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I got here August 6th. I completed my program on November 6th. I completed my program and graduated from here to become alumni.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then November 10th of that year, of 24, I hit my 1 year. So, and then November 20th, I was taken off HIP, and they had granted me probation on my new case and reinstated my other one.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So that was November last year was just blessings on blessings on blessings. You know, not to mention my son turned 10 November 6th. So it was like the day I graduated was his birthday.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like it was just a great, very positive year.
Yeah.
Since then, you know, I moved back home to Indiana. You know, stayed with my parents at first. I got very lucky and blessed in the fact that my father owns his own company, so I was able to go to work for him. He's retired from the police department, and now he does his own, you know, window pressure washing business. And I was able to start working with him immediately.
Oh, nice.
Made it home for Thanksgiving, everything. Since then, you know, I'd say like the hardest part about it, you know, besides the initial like coming out of being institutional, like being locked up or being in a recovery program, it's just getting back to that everyday lifestyle. And figuring out your niche with that, you know, and you got guys they still go to 2-3 meetings a day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you got guys that go to one a week, you know, whatever you need. You know, like me personally, I still go to meetings occasionally. I don't do them all the time, but anytime the Hand of AA, reaches out, I answer.
Yeah.
I do, you know, sponsor a couple of guys and do my best to apply the knowledge that I've gained through the process to help them in their journey. And now, you know, I went from not having my kids for years to, you know, I've got them 50% of the time, you know, with their mom.
Yes, sir.
I've got my own place with my girl, and it's truly, I've been blessed in every sense of the way. Also, when I got to the program, I had met someone, and, you know, 13th stepping right there, but we ended up getting pregnant, and now I have a brand new baby boy as well.
Oh, nice.
So and I've had, you know, losses along the way. My grandpa passed away last month, you know, out of nowhere. Yeah, I appreciate that. And that was pretty detrimental, man. I'm not gonna lie, like when that happened. But the thing that was cool to me about it is the fact that I was able to be there for my family. I was able to be there for my mammy the whole time through it all. And on this side of it, you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't locked up. I wasn't out there in my madness doing nothing. I could actually be there to be supportive and loving and help my family. So, yeah,
Amen, brother. Amen.
It's the best thing.
That's a powerful story you got right there, brother.
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy to hear that, man. It's like that one thing that you say is that, man, you know what? You just remaining focused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you wanting to be there for your family.
Yep.
And that's the main thing. I know that a lot of people right now, even not you who are listening right now, a lot of people want to be there, but they're just that drug, that being out in the madness, you just become selfish and you miss out on a lot of things.
Yes,
the key thing is like you said, when you got out, you still go to your classes, you still go to certain classes if need be.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, just because you complete a program, if you ever have the urge to need to go back or whatever, go back. You know, people aren't judging you. People aren't looking at you any differently, man. We all been through certain situations. We all been through things, you know. And us as being decent human beings and being around a good company. Yep. Like you said, you still love your bros. You know what I'm saying? You still have love for your bros. You still might talk to some of them.
Yep.
But it's different with the company that you're keeping consistently. If I know you're doing this, I cannot be around you knowing that I could be triggered.
Yep.
And I will fall. It's just gonna end up happening. You know, birds of a feather flock together.
Yep.
It's just going to end up happening. Doesn't mean I got a problem with you. Doesn't mean any of that. It just means that I know myself. You know you. Behind the screen, you know you. If you know there's certain people you might need to distance yourself from, that's continuously having you drink, continuously having you go out, clubbing, alcohol, you out there selling drugs, and whatever you're doing, it's so much better being sober, living a positive life, working
Facts.
for your money,
Facts.
not stealing, not killing, not dealing dope, but you don't got to look over your shoulders and get to a position where you start a family, and then you end up locked up and you can't be there with your kids. You can't be there when deaths of family members. You was able to be there for your granddad died, right?
Yep.
You know, if you was out there in the madness, you would have probably been locked up
Oh yeah. Or
worse.
yeah, or like my sister's wedding. My sister got married a few years ago when I was in the madness. The only thing she said, "Bub, please be there. Please be there." Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. Never showed up.
Dang.
You know, and you know, my mom tells me, you know, your sister kept looking for you, looking at that door that whole night. So like that hit home, man. You know, when I got clean and everything, and find out the knowledge, man, it's like, man, so that's why like, today I'm super thankful that like she just had her and my brother, her husband, they just had their first little baby. They had a little girl a few months ago.
Congratulations, sis.
Yeah, and I was so happy to be able to be there for that and to get to see the baby. You know, so like that to me, that's like the powerful stuff that like gets out of the you can get out of recovery. The people don't really talk about. Like, you know, and is anyone out there listening, man, you go to them meetings, you know, you do that or whatever, you're going to hear a lot of negative stuff. You're going to hear about the bad stuff people went through. But what you need to take away from that is all the positives that you're going to gain from it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's the detrimental part of all this, man. That's what makes it worth it. You know, I've been clean almost 2 years now, and it's, you know, I still have a craving every now and again. You know, I might have a dream or whatever, you know, back to that time when I was using, wake up and I'm like, whew, crazy. You know what I'm saying? It never goes away. You know, it's an addiction. It's a sickness. It's an illness that, you know, you'll never be able to take a medication and be done. Like no, I took my pill. I'm good today. I ain't gonna no. It's just putting in that work, getting that, you know, will, and, you know, getting that mindset of staying focused, you know, keeping that in mind at any point in time. Like, yeah, I know I could go back, but it ain't worth it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a relapse in them. Not everybody has another recovery in them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All it takes is one time and it's game over for you. So
that's right.
That's like the mentality I just try to keep with it. You know, stay positive, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always easy, man. It ain't.
It's not.
There's days you're going to want to choke everybody and their brother out. But you know what? You just keep going. Next day's going to be better, man. That's the way I look at it.
Amen, man. Amen to that, brother. Amen. Thank you for coming in on the show. Appreciate you, brother. For real.
Man,
hey, man. Hey, if there's anything you want to tell the people right now, let them know before we close it out.
All right. I'm going to tell y'all this. If you're struggling, if you're going through it, if you're in recovery already and you're just having a bad day, man, stay focused, you know. And if you are struggling, if you're still out there in your madness of addiction, give First Step Recovery a call. You know what I'm saying? This place, they really will love you back to life. I'm a proven fact of that. Hope y'all have a blessed day, man.
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
Man, appreciate that again. And
yes, sir.
Hey, people aren't paid to come on here.
No.
They reach out to come on here to tell their story.
Yep.
His brother Michael, he reached out to us and said, hey, I would like to come and share my story. I graduated from First Step Recovery, and I would like to just come and tell my story. Maybe you have a story that you want to tell. Don't hesitate to come out and tell us. And if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to First Step. We love you all, and have a blessed day.